We'll go ahead and call the open session back to order. And the only item was we forgot to have a brief discussion about the drawings for the ballot polls. Mr. Fritz, do you have anything to add?
I given here there's 3 pages that were sent over from Rob Rawlings. He came over personally, looked at a couple things, primarily the continued idea of a solution for some type of railing to protect people from falling into that area, that low area in front of windows. He's came up with this system of just simply erecting these uprights of these steel uprights, squared uprights. There's 3 or 4 of them that go across the curb on the inside, and then some cables will be stretched across the top. This design, we've probably seen it. You've probably seen it on decks, et cetera, et cetera. These are going to swag. The uprights of the 3 or 4 of them will be set to the east side of each parking space, which is an angle which will put it furthest away from the bumper. The bumper will never touch these. Okay? If you put it on the east side or the right-hand side of each parking place. Me and Rob suspected it's going to be very, very cheap to have this done. I think probably we might even have some of this stuff be able to do it in-house, Eric. I don't know. That's a discussion. I know that there's some folks that know how to weld that we have in-house. This simple weld is what it'll take on a plate for these uprights. We can have a bid out or however you want to do it, but that continues to be an issue, huge safety issue. And Mr. Rawlings, first thing he said, when I leave here, first thing you ought to do is make a telephone call to whoever strikes the parking lot, tell them to paint the curb yellow. And Eric immediately did that, and the curb has been painted yellow. So, but that continues to be an open pit and liability around our headquarters. And this is a solution that I propose that Eric embrace.
I have a question about it.
Right.
Before I embrace it,
Okay.
I have a question about it, if that's okay. But yeah,
Because I know you wanted to look at putting bollards down in the lower area as well. So. Everybody kind of see what this is? Everybody kind of know what we're talking about here?
And it's a good idea because I'm surprised they had their car across that thing yet. I mean, it's a cheap fix now. But, you know, you mentioned somebody in-house, and I know we have one welder that can do that. Easy.
as far as just making a pole for a rail.
Just making these.
railing.
Just making these and.
Yeah, probably.
And
Now, is that in addition to bollard poles or in lieu of bollard poles?
Well, I mean,
That's my question.
yeah, the bollard poles would be placement, obviously, for vehicles from jumping the curb and getting into the window. Mr. Rawlings' feeling belief was, is once a vehicle tires breached that curb and went over that void, that they were gonna pretty much bottom out. And if they went into the building, they're not gonna go very far unless they had speed, which bollard poles are not gonna keep your vehicle from going in there anyway, at speed. So, his concern and my concern was pedestrians falling in there when your vehicles aren't there on a Sunday, when you're not there, and they come out there from the Alps and they're about half shit faced to the wind, and they fall in that bed. And the fact that we have no railing and have talked about it is already enough concern for me. We need to have a solution and come up with a unified idea of what we need to do. Bollards keep vehicles out. This will keep people from falling in, hopefully.
do you think doing that in-house is an option?
I'd have to check. I don't know. I can't speak for them. Our maintenance guy that would pay for that is not one of the welders, but we do have some people that are certified welders that work in this. The only option I saw of this was, if we did the bollards, you could run a chain from the bollard to bollard. But then, we were talking about putting them on the east side, like what you said. But then you run into the problem of you're gonna lose some parking space if you bring the chain this way, bring the bollards up to the top.
I mean, there has been probably a dozen good minds look at this thing and nobody has said, hey man, you're missing the idea, here's what you do. No, it hasn't. I mean, it's a conundrum.
It is, it's a tremendous liability.
Yeah.
But,
I just want to put this in front of you. I mean, it's something that I'm going to leave to Eric once a decision he feels comfortable with for safety purposes to go with.
I think if Rollins said it's okay to do that up there, we could ask the gentleman to rebid it. We do have to have some bollards around the generator.
Yes.
That's a given. But if you want to do it that way in front, it's a cheaper
you have
solution.
$10 where?
What's that?
You have $10 where?
Around the generator.
Yeah.
4 of them, is that right, Aaron?
Down here.
Yeah. It sits next to that second south facing door there.
Yeah.
And basically just 4 of them around it. You can kind of see the little drawing there. So he bid this out for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
He's placed up against a building as well.
13 bollards. So at his price, that's probably, my math isn't that great today, so I couldn't tell you. But that's probably around $300 a bollard, something like that.
I think what Rollins had drawn up is a better deal, and then just those 4
Around the generator.
around the generator. And I think you ought to give us another price on that.
Have we, Chief, have we had any issues with anybody hitting the building with their vehicle in our parking yet?
No.
That's gonna be a problem. I mean, that's a concern too. We're not putting any parking blocks. See, remember on this drawing here, now they've added these bollards here on these 2 spaces here and bollards in front of the spaces down here before the very last garage door. And nobody's hit this brick building yet. A person that striped our parking lot, very competent man, suggested parking blocks are not an issue because they're huge liabilities. There's no parking blocks, so we have the building exposed in front end of employee parking there. At $343 a bollard, do we want to protect the building for each of those parking places? So, we could ask them to rebid this or get, if it's $345 a bollard, can we do a bollard of each of these down here? And then we'll do the other solution at the window. And we'll do the ones around the generator, that's a must. After we actually protect that.
And the other thing is, most of the time, no, I can't say all the time, most of the time, I really want to put some signs up there in those first 3 spots for chief, assistant chief, CFO. I don't like the Elks parking there, not that I have anything against the Elks, but there is some drinking going on, and it's possible somebody could have an accident. But 98% of the time, it's staff that's parking those spots. Well, it's not anybody that's going anywhere, it's somebody that's there for 40 hours, so. Yeah, if that's reasonable, I'll just have a rebid the 4 bollards around the pole and do it
And then to protect the building,
that's,
I think we ought to protect the building. I mean, that was, for the 4,400, he was doing 13 across the front here, 4 around the generator, and then the ones in front of these parking areas to protect the building. Because there is a bollard in front of this space here, I believe, protecting the building already. Already on there in front of that parking place. So,
yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
because it'd be damn expensive to get that brick fixed. We had somebody accidentally hit the building. Where are we at on the budget of the money? Where did we, Jamie, where are we at on money on
On just the bollard poles?
yeah, didn't,
I believe it's 1,500, but let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, there was 1,500 is what we budgeted for that.
Okay.
But we also have some room in the facility improvements because the windows didn't cost near as much as what we thought that was going to be to get those windows removed.
There was a significant difference in those two that we got. So.
Yeah, about $10,000. But again, with the generator, the gas lines, that wasn't factored in there either. So not sure what that's going to cost.
That would have to probably be done by a local plumber will do it. So that could get pricey. I mean, I'm running a brand new gas pipe over there. It's probably run a new inch gas pipe, probably, wouldn't they, Ryan? Okay. We'll let me figure that out. So.
Yep. Wait for the engineer.
If you want to take this back to him,
Okay.
for new pricing, for the cable setup, for the thing, and ballard poles to protect the rest of it.
The brick spots, the rest of them, okay. So basically minus those first four, is that, and whichever ones already have a pole over, and which I think there's one or two over there.
Correct, I believe you are correct, because he's kind of left some out here too that he might have identified them that the bollards weren't.
Right, oh yeah, you're right, there are two missing spots there. Okay, so it's probably just gonna be -4, which is probably $1,400 less than that did, just ballpark guess there. But yeah, I'll take it back to him. And I'll try and shoot him, I'll have him give me a couple different options there.
And just so everybody else knows, the other issue here I had Mr. Rawlings identify for us the outer wall where if in the future we ever really wanted to do the right thing and vent the exhaust fan in the cook fan in the kitchen over here at headquarters, that this would be the method to properly do it. So this will be on file. That's down the road. The issue is on the complaint file over there, so. It's pretty nasty then when you cook sometimes.
Can I ask a question, Mr.
Go ahead.
Ryan, I guess this is for you. We got 4 ballards going around the generator.
Yeah.
So the generator will sit outside on the east side of the building?
On the south side.
So, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, the south side of the building. So is that gonna be anchored down in some way?
The bollards or the generator?
The generator?
Yes, I believe they will be installing some just anchor points. There's 6 slots spring points.
Yeah, that should be anchored in the concrete.
Well, you would assume, but that's the reason why I asked the question. And I realize that we've got somebody here 24/7, but if they're, back and far back, somebody could come up there in front and just borrow that and we'd be missing it.
3,200 pounds.
Well, we had AC units stolen from the storm shelter, so, and they don't weigh that much, but it's happening. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think there were either 1 inch or 3/4 inch bolts. Yeah, 3/4 was driven down through that thing.
They'd have to anchor them because that thing.
It'd vibrate. I mean, yeah, it'd be very similar to the installation of worn out on TT.
No other discussion?
I did. I failed to exercise my right to make some public comment, if I may. I'd like to, at this point, on behalf of the people in my district, express my appreciation and advance my appreciation to the employees of Pettis County Ambulance District. I know that this is their job, but at a time that they're asked to be on the front line of a pandemic and to have a very uncomfortable way to have to go back to their life after they serve us 2 days and not knowing what they're taking back home. I just want to say that I've had several people indicate to me, Chief, a big appreciation for you staying fully staffed with the best and the brightest. And I want to say thank you to you, Chief, and to you, Jamie, for helping make that happen. And our battalion chiefs and our employees, they've risen to the occasion. And I think we got the best paramedics and EMS that EMTs in the state of Missouri. I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, to follow on the public comment section here, when we had the meetings here and we had visitors come in, they got a packet. And so how are we doing that now? In other words, they're not able to be here and get a packet. So how are they, if they're seeing this now, do they have a packet in front of them on their computer or something?
Never provided an agenda on the website that has a link to get to the videos, but they pull back it just because changes.
I think, my opinion is that, we've given them the packet before when they came here, and maybe this is temporary or short-term enough that it's not really a major factor, but if this is gonna go on for any period of time, I think that the taxpayers ought to have the packet that they were given when they came.
Well, I mean, they can access it online when they click the link to join us through the internet connection.
How would we know who all would want it?
Well,
I mean, I can post it to the website, just throwing it up there, instead of putting the agenda, put a whole back on there.
we might express again, how, where and how we post our agendas. Are they public places?
It's just on the website.
Okay.
Just on the website and notices on doors.
Well, the distribution list is pretty huge.
35 person distribution list for notices on meetings.
All our local media outlets and individual reporters and a few people that are just interested. There are a lot of people on there.
So going forward, they will be given not just the agenda, but the normal packet they would have gotten if we actually had a physical location where they came in. You can do that. That's, okay, thanks, sir.
Let's take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you, gentlemen.